Hello guys, Tav HD here, and today I'll be doing a What's in my dock video, and the computer I'll be showing you is my 2015 MacBook Pro. This is a 15-inch with a 2.2 GHz Core i7 processor, 16 GB of RAM, and 256 GB of flash-based storage. Let's get started. Everyone needs the Finder, because it's where all your files go, and without it you wouldn't be able to find anything, so that's why I've got it first. Next is Siri. I hardly ever use it. I'm not really sure why the icon's there, because Siri doesn't really understand me. It usually thinks I'm saying something that I'm not. Like once I asked it something, and then it called the police. So yeah, that's always helpful, isn't it? Next, Launchpad. It's where all your programs and apps go, just in there, so you can open them easily if they're not in your dock. Next is Firefox. Firefox is my favourite browser. I've been using it for a few years now through all the different versions, and I feel it just suits my needs the best. Next is WhatsApp. That's so I can answer texts and message people without my phone being present. Next is Mail. It supports Gmail, so it does everything I need it to do. Quite simple, but it's fine. Notes. I use that to make notes, as you can guess. Synchronizes with my phone as well, so my notes are wherever I need them to be. Calculator. I'm sure you know what calculator is. It lets you calculate things, and it is quite useful. Maps, in case you get lost with your laptop, you can find where you are, but I use it to research different places in the world. Next we have Spotify. This is for all my music. I don't pay for it because I feel the free one does everything I need it to. Next is Photos. They synchronize between all my Apple devices as well, so I can look at them wherever I am. And Photo Booth, pretty pointless. It's got some fun things on it, but don't really use it much. Next, App Store. It's where you get your apps, and that's where you do your updates and things like that. iTunes, I don't really use iTunes much anymore. I used to a few years ago, but I've not used it in quite a long time now. Next, we have Avast Mac Security. This is the free one. I can't be bothered paying. This just protects me from any viruses that are out there. Now, people say Macs don't get viruses, but they do, trust me. Next, Smc Fan Control. This is because my computer gets very hot sometimes and I don't want it to do that, so I can control the fan speeds to keep it cool through that program. Next is Carbon Copy Cloner. Use that to copy hard drives. For example, when I was selling my iMac, I wanted to keep a copy of the hard drive, so I cloned it through this program. So now I've still got a copy of it even though I don't have the computer. Next, Quicktime Player. Use it for looking at videos, and I also use it for doing these screen recordings. Next, Skype. Don't use it much because I don't do much video messaging or whatever you call it. Video chatting, I think it is. I don't do that much anymore. I used to do it quite a bit. Next is Steam. That's for all your games, but Macs aren't the best at gaming, but this computer does have a few games on it. For example, Euro Truck Simulator 2, Minecraft, and Roblox. Yeah, they're not the best games. Don't play them much now, but sometimes I do, and they can be quite fun. Next is Virtualbox. That's for making virtual machines, and I do that quite often actually. Next, Android File Transfer. Absolutely terrible program. Always crashes when you open it and just doesn't let you transfer the files that you need to transfer. Another thing that's terrible is Paint X Lite. Crashes all the time, it's really glitchy, and it's just horrendous. Next, we've got Garageband or GarageBand. That's for your music production. Don't use it that much, but you can have some fun with it. Next is Blender. That's for animations. I use that sometimes, but it's not something I use very often. That seems to be the case with most things in this dock. I don't use them very often, so I'm not really sure why they're in my dock, but let's go with it. Next, Audacity, or Audacity, however you want to say it. That's for your audio recordings, use that quite often. Next we have iMovie and HitFilm 4 Express. I use these for my video editing. These are the ones I use mostly, but on my PC I use a different one as well, but these are my favourites. Next we've got Smart Converter. This can convert any file format into a different one. For example, if your computer doesn't support a type of file, this can convert it so your computer can handle it. Next we've got Python. Use that for school related things, but apart from that I don't use it in my spare time really. Then next we have Pages, Numbers and Keynote, and I use Pages for my Word documents, Numbers for any spreadsheets, and then Keynote to make presentations. Next we have screen sharing. This is so I can connect remotely to another Mac that I have on the network. I use this quite often. It is a very helpful thing to have. And then finally we have the trash, which is of course where all your rubbish goes to, and I haven't emptied it in quite a long time, but I'm sure it will be fine. I think that's everything you really need to know about my dock. You've seen everything and you know why it's there. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.